is prophecy. You know, if we're trying to solve something, we must understand everything about it in order for us to get to that certain level. And why we still not unified as a people? And how come we still having the same problems we always had? And anybody trying to do something for self is put down. They destroying Bill Cosby and all the other black icons, you know. So they try to say Obama is the worst president. What they mean to say is the black president. But this is because of prophecy. And see, also what's going on today with Black Lives Matter, they're trying to say Black Lives Matter is a militant organization. But all they're talking about is Black Lives do matter. And the reason why we say Black Lives Matter is because it don't seem like everybody thinks Black Lives Matter at all. And so when the people have to say that, that shows you the deficiency in society of sympathy toward their cause. But really what it's about is about what J. Edgar Hoover said a long time ago when he instructed the law.
Cut for a second?
Again.
Yeah, we're going to cut for a second. We still rolling.
Yeah, look at what J. Edgar Hoover said and look at what's going on today and you'll understand it. If you don't, you will not understand it. How can we fall into the same traps over and over again because we don't study the past? We don't care about the black. Look at the history of the Black Panther Party, Republic of New Africa, SNCC, CORE, Southern Christian Leadership Conference, NAACP, or whatever. In the history of the struggle, look at the Freedom Riders, that you had to have a certain temperament in order to accomplish this. In other words, not reacting to what the devil is doing, but doing what God told you to do. Well, our problem is a problem of prophecy. We are of perdition. We in this situation because God chose us to be here at this day and time. You know, we've been stolen and brought here to America, the seed of Abraham. So God is justified in coming to get us because he said he would. And he's not a respecter of person, but he don't break his promise. He promised Abraham he would come to get you. So the reason why I'm saying that is because we will get out of this as a people. And we will save young blacks. See, they're trying to kill y'all. I'm here for y'all because, you know, I'm not dead yet, and the day ain't over. But to sit up and watch young black men being led to the slaughter, or that proverbial net I was talking about. In order to stop the fish from going to the net, you have to fish them before they get to the net. And so these lectures are about a timetable of success that was already laid out for us by God himself. And we just had to follow it. And the first thing we had to do is come together. You know, in the valley were the dry bones. And they came together, but they didn't have flesh. That means because every time they come together, some forces would cause them to separate. When Dr. Martin Luther King, he's the big hero now, when he was living, and in the time before he was murdered, all churches and all organizations black turned against him because he went against the Vietnam War. That's because of the military-industrial complex. And Eisenhower warned us about this military-industrial complex. But now we live in a prison-industrial complex, and that's a part of J. Edgar Hoover's plan to catch young black men, put them in jail, state property, a whole bunch of slaves. You can't vote, can't do nothing. You don't determine it. That's just like saying you can't vote, taking away your vote, denying you the opportunity to vote, because you get caught up in this net called crime. When nobody, crime don't pay, man. Who you know that's a criminal that ever made it? Who do you know that's a drug dealer that ever made it? You know? That ain't the way to go, man. You build your foundation the righteous way, it'll stand. Every building depends upon the foundation that you lay. You must lay a righteous foundation. It must be done. Even God said, when I rebuild a temple, it must be done mathematically correct. Every time you see them do a building, they have to have, when people come out there and look and see what the land is doing, and they have to act, well, we're going to do this. The law say you can do such and such in order to build, because it has to be mathematically correct in order for you to build something. And the foundation is the most important part. And the foundation of what's happening to us is prophecy. And we have to understand. I would be up here talking about, a lot of people don't believe in the Bible, the Quran, or whatever, these books. But it's in there. And it's talking about our condition and our situation here in America. And we wrote this article called The Beast in Our Time. It better be understood. It's like the Black Panther Party. Here it is, years ago in the 60s, they was doing the same thing that Black Lives Matter is talking about doing right now, and talking about stopping the police and actually patrolling the community with guns. But under the law. Huey and Bobby, who created the Black Panther Party, the founders, went to school, Merritt College. They understood the law. So if we're going to have guns, they saw that black people have guns. Black people didn't know this if you do it in a proper way under the law. So they started teaching people how to do this. Because black men and black women were being shot, or especially black men, in the Oakland, California area. Shot in the back, just murdered. We didn't know at that time that what they were doing was taking the body parts of these young men. If you think about this, how many people are sick and they're in a long line to get a liver, a lung, kidney, a heart, but they got the money? It's a black market for that, and it's the biggest market in the world. How many rich people that's dying that want to live, that can get them a young black heart? I ain't trying to scare nobody, but all this is a part of prophecy, man. Because you have the best. A young black heart, if you get it within 5 hours, will give them an extra 5 or 6 years of life. So that's why when they kill our young men, nobody can be around. They take the body parts out, they make money off of it. This is something that is known now. You know, I wouldn't be saying something that ain't none of my business, but this is what's going on with us. And also, everything that could be possibly done to keep you down, they're doing that because they know what seed that you are. And they also know that God has already come amongst you. Because he know how you are. He know how he made you. You ain't the way that he made you. Somebody came and said something to you to wake you up. So we're going to be getting into this. The beast is what we must understand. In the language of the Bible, it talks about the beast, the dragon, the false prophet, God's holy people. God actually said, last week we talked about God was coming from the east and to the west. He said, I will come from the east and to the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be also. Right? That's right. Like lightning, God coming from the east. We talked about lightning and what lightning means. Like J. Edgar Hoover when he said, we must stop the rise of the black. Break that down. We who, man? It ain't just him, it's who he represents. Right. He represents so-called law and order. And he telling law and order to keep your ass separated. This is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the Ku Klux Klan. I'm talking about law and order, right? So-called.
The police department.
Yeah.
The feds.
He said, we must. Oh, you know what must mean, man?
Yes, sir.
You have to stop him or something drastic is going to happen to us. And he called him a Messiah, the rise of a black Messiah. A Messiah. The reason why he said Messiah, because Messiah is the only one that can wake up the dead. Right. And like I told you in the beginning, God would come to your grave and speak to you, and the dead would actually rise up, because ain't nobody in the world more dead than the so-called American Negro. You can go any village in the world and ask them to marry their daughter, and you're a Negro, they're going to turn you down. That's right. Because the opportunity that we have, they say, why don't y'all got schools for free, y'all got money, and you waste. No Negro have a factory where he can make cars. You know how many cars we buy? Even if it was a nasty cigarette, man, we should at least get a cigarette company. We can use that money, the taxes off or whatever, to send our children to school. We don't produce anything. Remember we talked about being a boy and why they call you a boy? It ain't nice to be called a boy, but right. That's what you really are. Right. See, if you go to the doctor and they tell you got cancer, then you can start fighting it. And quit doing shit that's going to make it get worse. So calling you a boy is not an insult. I love you. But that's what we are. Because we don't produce nothing. Right. At all. And the drugs that we sell and the guns that we have, they give to us. How is it strange we got rifles and Uzis, but not supermarkets, man? They just built a supermarket in the black community. You know why?
Why?
Why would you build a supermarket in a community where people don't even want to pick up the trash? They got it ain't no race. It's spiritual dead. If you that dead, well, you want to pick up the trash in your neighborhood and keep it clean, why would I want to build a business in a neighborhood like that?
Right.
Even though you spend more money than anybody on food, you got to go ride out somewhere to get it. That's also strategic also. So when you rise up and start acting a fool,
Right.
they got something for your ass. But if you rise up and start doing for self, ain't nothing they can do to you. This is what we talking about.
Right.
You ain't got to fight what's already, and take what's already yours.
Right.
It's yours, man. All you got to do is wake up and get it. We're going to be getting into this. We're going to be talking about the beast. We're going to be talking about the false prophet. And I'm going to prove to you mathematically, not by my opinion or what I think, I'm going to prove to you spiritually, mathematically, where we are. We can get on the same page and walk down this road, discover this timetable. We will see that it's only a few years left and we will be free as a people and the devil will actually be defeated. Matter of fact, they talking about the United States is broke. If you listen to the right-wing radio, we broke. We got to get America. Remember what Donald Trump was talking about? We got to make America great again. Again. It ain't great no more. Well, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Marcus Garvey, Noble Drew, they all said the fall of America because of this treatment of Abraham's seed in the hills of North America. Lost and cut off from their parts. That's what it said. If you look at all the prophecies about Abraham's seed being lost, it don't fit the Jews in Israel. I ain't against them,
Right.
but it fit you more. See, because it said they would get cut off from their language, their God. They ain't never got cut off. They know they ain't never quit speaking Hebrew and all that. Ain't nothing wrong with them. But you don't know your language. You speak a bastard language over here. You don't know who you are, where you come from. Don't give a damn. You're lost. And so all the money and stuff you get, it ain't going to do you no good because you're still lost. But if you understand who you are, you begin to change. You are the seed of Abraham, God's elect.
Right.
He chose to make an example of the world through you. The only reason why he can come and get America is because of their treatment of you. That's why he allowed them to get us. So he can punish their ass. I'm not against America, I'm American. But they finna be punished and they being punished. And if you a flea on the dog, when the dog died, a flea gonna die too. That's what black people are. Well, I tell you like this, you got all these degrees and you black and you all this powerful. But what do we have? If the stores close down tomorrow, how much food you got?
None.
Ain't that pitiful? Man, we in a pitiful condition, and all these intelligent people, they don't even know it. And all this knowledge and wisdom in these speeches, it ain't reaching our people. It ain't stopping them from falling in this proverbial net called law enforcement or state property. How many black brothers you know caught up in that? How many young black men caught up in the prison system can't even vote, man? Can't even represent your community, can't get a job. Because you got caught up in you got caught up in this net I'm talking about. That J. Edgar Hoover designed. That's why I'm talking about J. Edgar Hoover. Because he was the first one to say it. And he told all the FBI agents around the world, we got to stop, this is what we got to do. And he also said when the Black Panther Party rose to protest black men being murdered by police in the 60s, he said the Black Panther Party was the greatest internal threat to the security of the United States, and we must destroy them. So systematically they eliminated Panthers. 23 Panthers were murdered outright, known by the police. Fred Hampton being the example of that. Just outright murdered. Because Panthers was talking about serving the basic needs of the community and teaching people the law so they can take advantage of it. It's all right for you to carry a rifle and a gun if you know how to do it, if you know how to load it, if you know the law about it, then you can do this. That's it.